I'm very distracted because my children are right there. So I'm trying to like keep my train of thought. Thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about.
I try to do the best I can, try to be considerate of others' feelings.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki Schumacher. I am practically imperfect in every single way. I am doing an amazing collab. I was so excited. I will link the playlist down below so we can all binge on a bunch of mamas and mastermind together about how to encourage our little ones to work. I think I might have lucked out and I have just enough time to record this. Sorry about the wet hair. First of all, I'm a little nervous because I don't at all want you to think that I'm better than you. The whole point of my channel is to encourage each other to love our families, but realizing that we're never going to be perfect. My kids are pretty good at doing their chores. That does not mean that I'm better than you. I love what Heather Chores said on one of her homeschooling mama videos. Parenting is kind of like a game of solitaire. You have to play the hand that you have been dealt. And so I'm not going to sit here and judge you because your situation could be very, very different than mine. You might have boys. I've heard that that's different. I have two girls. They are 4 and 1. And they are precious little heiresses. And while I think that they're pretty rambunctious for girls, I don't know what it's like to be a boy mom. You might have a child with special needs. I mean, I just don't judge at all. I'll just say these are the things that have worked for me so far, and my kids are not perfect. We're flawed individuals just like everyone. I've had a lot of good fortune in getting my kids to do chores, even the 1-year-old. I'll just get started. I actually don't use the word chores in my house. I got this trick from Flylady. It's not that it's technically a bad word. I personally just like to use words that have a more positive connotation in my mind. So if it's not a negative word to you, that's fine. But I talk about work as a joy and a blessing. I talk to my kids about how work helps people. I always talk about how work is fun. If it's fun, it gets done. I'm also stealing that from the Flylady. Definitely check her out. She's great for learning how to declutter if you're new to that. Make it fun and it gets done. So we make games out of it. We play Simon Says. When I was really having a lot of chronic pain, I would basically play Simon Says. But it was, Mommy Says, and I would give her a lot of praise. A lot of kids 4 and under aren't going to understand, hey, pick up your toys. They're not going to understand that. They're going to understand simple step-by-step instructions. Put the book on the shelf, put the blue ball in the toy box, and I would set a timer for 20 minutes and do that. The point of getting your kids to help with work around the house is not to save time. It's to teach them in the long run, and remembering that this is an investment. Just like you teach them to read and write, you want to teach them to have a good work ethic and just look at that as part of their education. Make it fun, it gets done. The next point is alongside. I believe in alongside mentorship. I come alongside them and I do my best to really clean with them what is age appropriate. Every morning we unload the dishwasher together. I do the heavy dishes. I actually open it and get the sharp knives out real fast. My eldest does the light dishes. She does the silverware. I'm very distracted because my children are right there. So I'm trying to like keep my train of thought. Thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. And I was really, really surprised that my 1-year-old, I wasn't expecting her to help with this, but she just has started jumping in and helping. This is just a part of our day. It's really important to remember not to expect this part of your life to go fast, okay? More is caught than is taught. And I love to get things done fast, but getting things done fast is not the goal. If I looked at my whole life that way, my children would leave my house at 18 not knowing how to do anything because I thought, oh, well, it's just faster to do it myself. So yes, it does take us probably 10 minutes instead of 5 minutes to empty the dishwasher in the morning. It takes me 15-20 minutes to fold towels instead of 5 minutes to fold towels because my girls help with that. My little 1-year-old, she helps fold towels. Obviously, she's not really folding towels, but the very first step in learning is to pretend. Children pretend to read, several years before they actually succeed at reading. That's just how they learn. They pretend. And so she gets the towel and she crumples it up, and my 4-year-old actually can fold towels really well, and she's trying to fold other things and not quite succeeding at it. And that's okay. No perfectionism. I don't criticize their work as long as it's age appropriate for a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. They make their bed and it doesn't look like Better Homes and Gardens, and I don't go up behind them and make the bed. Well, the 4-year-old. The next point, a lot of people might disagree with me. I do believe in disciplining my children, but I don't use work as a punishment. Work is not a punishment. Work is a blessing. Work is joyful. Work is something that we should be passionate about, and I do not want to squash that passion. Whenever my husband goes to work, we always say thank you to him for working and helping to provide for us. Work is helping people. Whenever you're working, you're performing a good or service. If they make a mess, I will make them clean it up. Other than that, work is really not a punishment. When they grow up, they're still gonna have to work, and I don't ever want them to have attached work as like bleh for 18 years of their life, and then they can't hold a job because they just can't stay passionate about working. I really appreciated this about my dad. He loved working. I mean, it was just very apparent that he loved to provide for us. I have viewers from all walks of life, and I want you to know you're very, very welcome here. I hope it's okay with you that I share my truth. I'm not trying to be preachy or anything, but it's very hard to explain my philosophies on life without my faith being attached, because to me it's like a Venn diagram. They're interlinked. There's a story in Genesis where Adam and Eve get kicked out of the Garden of Eden. So in that story, there was work long before Adam and Eve got kicked out. They got to tend to the garden and tend to the animals and name the animals. A lot of people say that that's when we had to work, and work is a curse, and that's so inaccurate. Work is not a curse. I've said that time and again. But in that story, what was the curse is that it wasn't easy anymore. The plants didn't just grow so easily. It took a lot of sweat. The curse is that sometimes we work really hard and don't produce anything in this life. A lot of Christians have gotten that idea somehow that work is a curse, and that is not in there anywhere. Toil and the hardships of not making enough, even though you work really, really hard and it doesn't make enough to provide. I just want to correct those thoughts in people's minds that work is a curse and passing that on to your children, because really that robs them of passion, and there's really no reason to not love working. Okay, so the camera was rolling and I'm just like talking to my husband on the iPad. He was asking me what snacks I want for after the kids go to bed, and I told him Gouda. I want Gouda. This might step on some toes. It's not as bad as it sounds, but I do have a motto: he who does not work, neither shall he eat. I actually do try to get my kids to do a couple of chores before breakfast. That is very motivating. Now, this might not work for everyone, but for my kids, they want to get that dishwasher unloaded quickly so that they can eat breakfast. Now, if we wake up late and everyone's starving, I use common sense, and it'll be before lunch that they need to get certain chores done. Pick up their toys, unload the dishwasher, and now this is for the 4-year-old, not the 1-year-old. Help mommy fold some towels, brush their teeth, brush their hair. And I also try to hold off on cartoons and things like that until after they've got certain things done. Here's a pro tip. Often when my daughter asks to watch something, I say, well, let's put all your toys away first. And then she gets so distracted with the toys that she starts playing, and I don't really worry about it. I just let her keep playing because she's playing. And that's a lot better for her than watching something. And this one has no interest in TV at all. Just hasn't kicked in for her yet. You're just different than Sissy. You're different. Kiss that baby. I have no idea what this is going to be like. It does wonders for this channel when you share it on your social media. Share it with a mama who you think would love the vibe here. I'm really, really committed to making this community just something where we can really encourage each other to love our families. Check out the other ladies in this playlist. It's going to be really awesome. I'm going to binge on the whole thing for sure. If you are from one of their channels, consider subscribing and hit the little bell so you know when we upload. I upload every single week, 2 or 3 times. Whew. You are good. You are precious. Grace. What's your favorite color? Yeah, me. Do you see those birds? Can you say birds? Birds. What should we have for dinner tonight? Oh, she's looking at the kitchen. Should we go eat dinner? Do you want the good notebook that Mama was using? You want the notebook Mommy was using?